frauds in fiction. That is what we are going to be talking about today, okay? And listen, man, I'm going to keep this short and sweet and simple. We're going to be going through movies, TV shows, and I think I got a video game on here. I think I do. And we are going to be naming characters that I think are rather fraudulent. And what do I mean by fraud? Some would say overrated. Some would say they stand for nothing. Some would say they are being promised a lot by the plot, and when the moment becomes heavy, they just do not perform, okay? Examples of frauds throughout fiction would be like a Kylo Ren in Star Wars, a Megumi Fushiguro from JJK, a Megatron from the Michael Bay Transformers movies, and certainly, not least, the Immortal from the Invincible series. That is what we're going to be talking about in this video. I kind of just want to roast some fictional characters. I kind of want to blow off some steam right now. This is going to be a pretty rant-heavy video. And you know what? You guys seem to enjoy it. If you guys enjoy this video, please consider like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 300,000 subscribers before the end of the year, 500,000 before the release of GTA 6. And you know what, bro? We hit 250,000 subscribers. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I thought about joining an MMA gym and getting a fade. So tell me in the comment section if that's enough. I think I already know what y'all are going to say. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Let's go. Kylo Ren, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. Kylo Ren makes me more mad than any other character in the entirety of Star Wars. I put Jar Jar Binks over Kylo Ren unironically, because at least Jar Jar Binks stands on the minimal business that he does. Jar Jar Binks, unironically, is less fraudulent than Kylo Ren when it comes to combat ability. Jar Jar Binks cleared an entire brigade of separatist clankas, okay? That is canon, by the way, where we have Kylo Ren got absolutely decimated by a chick who never wielded a lightsaber a day in her life. I can perfectly understand why Rey would have more force ability than a Kylo Ren. The fact that he lost a duel is absolutely insane to me. Oh, well, I mean, like, Finn whittled him down. The fact that Finn, again, a guy who never wielded a lightsaber outside of 15 minutes ago, that is absolutely insane. Kylo Ren was trained by Luke Skywalker, dude. I'm sorry. There comes a point where I see Kylo Ren fumble, and literally fails, trips over himself, and fails again. There comes a point where I just have to say he is fraudulent, bro. I have to say he is the worst Skywalker. How do you come from a lineage of Anakin, bro? Luke, Leia, Han Solo, the coolest dude without force ability in the universe, okay? You come from all of that, and you can't brother, yeah, no, he's a fraud. Complete and utter fraud. It's not even a remote question in my mind. Is he the biggest fraud? Quite possibly, dog. Even that, well, he was able to do good against the Knights of Ren. Brother, he was dueling people that didn't even have lightsabers. I want you to think about this. Kylo Ren lost every single lightsaber duel that he had. I'm not kidding. He lost every lightsaber duel he was in. Brother, he's mid. He's a fraud. Kylo Ren, he's the next big bad. He ain't nothing, man. He ain't nothing, man. I'm sorry. I'm putting Kylo Ren. Brother is a fraud. He is a fraud, absolutely no question in my mind. Put him there, no question. Megumi Fushiguro from Jujutsu Kaisen. I've been going down the Jujutsu Kaisen rabbit hole. If you guys want me to make a video on that, leave it in the comment section down below. And I didn't understand why people hated on Megumi so much while watching the anime until I read the manga, and I'm like, bro, Megumi is a fraud. What do you mean? The entire series, they're actively talking about how Megumi has the ability to equal some of those powerful characters in the verse, like a Sukuna and a Gojo, over and over and over again. Mr. Potential Man, okay? All for all that, just to get used as a literal plot device whenever they want. Brother, in the first episode of the entire series, he's trying to spam his ult. Bro gets pressed by basically a fodder enemy in this verse, and is like, Maharaga, come save me! Every single time. People debate whether he was going to summon it on a school bully. I don't really care. Every single time he had even slight trouble, he started trying to summon Maharaga. And then in the few situations where he should have summoned him, he just didn't summon him. For anyone who doesn't know what Maharaga is, imagine me and you get into a slight argument, and I call it just an airstrike that will annihilate like a mile radius of us. That is essentially what is going on. It's like Brother, I ain't losing. We losing. Roses are red. Weapons against me won't prosper. With this sacred treasure I summon, Big Raga, the op stopper. Literally every single time. It gets comical to a point. But then I'm like, okay, Megumi, he's going to be more powerful later on. No! Okay, dude, we don't even see the peak of Megumi at all. Megumi gets used as a plot device by the villain, and then gets thrown to the side dude, I'm sorry. Megumi actually makes me really mad whenever we talk about this series, but here's the part that annoys me. It is true. His power is absolutely insane. But he is so fraudulent that he doesn't even reach his own prime. Somebody had to possess him to use his ability. I'm putting Megumi in kinda a fraud going up there. I might move him up purely because he does have crazy power. He just doesn't know how to use it. I'm putting it in kind of a fraud. Light Yagami. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna say with Light Yagami, bro. I'm sorry, y'all do kind of overrate Light Yagami a little bit and try to say being like, oh, well, he did all this. Brother, I'm sorry. He was a man with an ego complex that got slightly pushed over the deep end and was given absolute power, and literally within 3 days of having it, immediately became tyrannical. And it's actually insane. Like, people will make the comparison to, like, Walter White. In my mind, Walter White took longer to break bad, to literally fall off the deep end. Dude, I'm sorry, the moment that Light Yagami became the villain was the moment he tried to get rid of L. The very same moment he tried to get rid of an investigator, trying to investigate a crime, by the way. His whole ethos is that he wants to stop all crime. He is getting rid of people that actively solve crime, and the crime that they committed was trying to stop him. Okay? That is a toddler with a god complex with the powers of a god. That is essentially what he is. Like, and I'm sorry. People are going to say, well, the Death Note corrupted him. Dog, literally that. I like to think that, like before he gets the Death Note, and immediately he grabs onto that thing. He's like, I could be a good person and not use this. But instead, I'm going to become God. That's essentially what he does, and I'm sorry, even if you go to the end of the series, by the end of it, he is just straight up a villain. And the show has to go... This is what I think happened. I think when he was doing the manga, people were starting to, like, side with Light Yagami because they were seeing the civilization that he built, which was basically a peaceful utopia built off of fear. And then by the end of the series, that goes out of their way to explain to you being like, he didn't actually solve anything. He just became a tyrant. That's essentially what he did. Everything that he built isn't going to stand the test of time. He was trying to build a utopia on Earth, centered around a god figure called Kira, when in reality, it was just him having a power trip. Like, that's what he was getting off of on, and then he hated these investigators, not because he believed that they were going to hurt his order, but they stood against him. I'm sorry, Light Yagami... brother, he is kind of a fraud. He is. Objectively, he is kind of a fraud. Finn from Star Wars. This one kind of hurts because it's like, Disney did this one. Disney made him a fraud. I'm sorry, bro. Imagine being John Boyega. You sign on to doing a Star Wars movie, and they're telling you that you're going to be like the new version of Mace Windu. That comes from John Boyega, by the way. John Boyega said the reason that how he was signed on to the film is they compared his character to Mace Windu, which... I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of like fucked up. Isn't that like kind of problematic? And the reason why I'm saying problematic like that is like, how is Finn and Mace Windu similar? No. Tell me, how are those two characters similar? No, say it. I'm sorry. You're going to make that comparison? Tell me how they are similar. They are not remotely similar from a character point of view. So just say it. Say why they're similar. And again, this is coming from John Boyega, said the reason that he signed on to the film is because they said his character was going to be like Mace Windu, which is crazy. But, go on. He goes on to the movie and literally gets relegated to the backup love interest. I'm not even kidding you. That is what he gets relegated to. And it is absolutely insane. The problem is that Finn gets so hyped up in the beginning. And no, Finn has to be force sensitive. There is no way. There is a moment where he literally is able to sense the mass loss of life on a distant planet, which is something very similar to what Yoda was able to do during Order 66. I thought Finn was going to be force sensitive only for them to literally do nothing with that plotline, all in favor of Rey. And because they promised him so much, and gave him so little. It actually makes him, from a narrative point of view, very fraudulent, because he starts off up here and gets relegated down here. Disney made him a fraud in favor of Rey. I'm sorry, bro. Y'all have made him into a mech character, and that's actually kind of insulting if you're thinking about it. Hulk in the MCU. You know what? I'm sorry. Somebody also has to bring this up. Brother, do you know what is a core aspect of Hulk's character? He gets stronger the angrier he gets, okay? There is no Marvel movie outside of the Incredible Hulk that does this. There is literally no Marvel movie that does this. Hulk is just turns green, he's really strong, and he doesn't really get stronger when he gets angry. He just becomes, hey, hey, hey. And then Natasha, like a Discord kitten, to her Discord mod, as soon as he gives him some physical contact, he comes back to being a real person. And then when he comes back, Mark Ruffalo is like, I'm sorry, my kitten. I lost control. That's what you did to the Hulk, bro. And then, like, I think the reason why so many people had a problem with Smart Hulk is, well, first off, 2 reasons. We didn't get to see him become Smart Hulk in a film. It literally happened as, like, off-screen. And 2, we didn't get enough time as with Angry Hulk. And we definitely didn't get enough time with, like, Angry Hulk that's so angry that he is literally, like, rivaling, like, cosmic-level threats. We never really got to see that. Hulk is literally used as a comic relief in just about every scene that he's in. It actually kind of bothers me. No, it doesn't just kind of. It just straight up bothers me. You turned Hulk fraudulent because you made him lame. All he does is just go, hi. It's just green Mark Ruffalo. That's all Hulk is now, bro. And it bothers me because it's like, this is why people underrate the Hulk. Like, I'll say this right now. I think Batman absolutely whops. No. I'm actually going to go farther than this. Robert Pattinson's Batman absolutely decimates no diffs MCU Hulk. It's not even remotely close. You want to know why? Because literally all I have to do, look at what Iron Man did. Just do that. And I'm sorry, that's another one. And they've been doing it for a while. The fact that Tony Stark is able to KO the Hulk, despite the fact that, again, one of the core aspects of Hulk's powers is that he gets stronger the angrier that he gets. Like, that is not a power of the Hulk anymore. He doesn't get strong. Brother, the most powerful iteration of the Hulk is literally Hulk in The Incredible Hulk. He gets weaker and weaker in each movie that he's in. It is actually, I have a little theory that the reason why they did that is because Disney doesn't own the Hulk, so they made Hulk as lame as possible in order for them, Warner Bros. Or Universal Studios or one of them, to sell them the rights to the Hulk to make him cool again. That's what I think. Brother, he is so overrated. It's, nah. You know what? Yeah, nah, he's just a fraud. Nah, I'm moving some people up. Kind of a fraud. I think that's fair. Megatron from the Michael Bay movies. This is what I mean. Megatron in the first Transformers movies is a certified menace, and he rips apart Jazz in the first movie. It's absolutely insane. But then, literally by the second movie, he is resorting to jumping Optimus Prime, and he had to ambush Optimus to take him out. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I understand he had to become weaker, but it's not like Megatron went from being so much more powerful than Optimus to equal to Optimus. He went from literally being somebody that no-diffed Optimus Prime plus the entire team of the Autobots to he can't even do a 1v1 with Optimus anymore. That is one thing that legitimately did bother me. Even as a kid, I was like, why did they make Megatron so weak? Like, he's just not cool anymore. He's just not like any. And this is another one. They don't do it in like the animated shows. Like Megatron is like consistently a threat that will beat up Optimus in a 1v1 consistently. In the movies, it's literally like, oh, it's Megatron versus Optimus. So Megatron has like 7 other people to help him out so it can be competitive, right? Brother, I'm sorry. By the last movie, Bumblebee unironically put up a better fight up against Optimus than Megatron did. Bumblebee is more powerful than Megatron according to the Michael Bay movies, and it's absolutely insane that that's what it really does look like. They made Megatron, bro, and I'm sorry, dude, look at all those characters. I'm hoping I can put some more down. Bro, he is kind of a fraud. He's super cool in the first movie, but oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, no, they're straight fraudulent. Griffith from Berserk. I talk about Griffith so much. The only point that I'm going to bring up is that maybe I'm getting rage baited because people want to bring up that, like, well, Griffith was a good person before the eclipse. No, he wasn't. He was literally faking every aspect of his life. He purposely tried to look noble so he would be fit in with the noble. He purposely would research things just so he could sound smart in conversation. He would purposely do things that he would not normally do just to get the approval of others. Griffith essentially is a psychotic pick-me. That is essentially what he is, bro. Like, I cannot wait for the Berserk video because Griffith is either overrated to an absurd degree because they'll say that Griffith wasn't actually a bad guy before, when it's like, no, Griffith is like a Ramsay Bolton level evil. Like, that's it. Like, no, before the eclipse, he was an evil person. I want you to think about this. In the world of Berserk, the redeeming qualities of Griffith is that he sometimes cares about Casca and Guts. That is the redeeming quality of Griffith. Everything that he does with the princess is all for so. Everything that he does for anybody that is, like, remotely connected to him is for his enjoyment, and so he can get leverage on them. Everything that Griffith does is purposely meant for it's to get him some level of influence over them. I'm sorry, dog. Just by saying that, I'm gonna be real here, dog. Overrated? Okay, I might have to rename this one. I'm gonna put him in overrated, but I'm gonna rename it a little fraud. A little fraud. You know, yeah, he a little fraud. He a little bro. Yeah, put him there. Put him there. He's a pick-me. I'm sorry, I have to put him there. Rey Palpatine. I am not calling her Rey Skywalker. I'm not doing that. That was one of the most aggravating parts because from a narrative point of view, it doesn't make sense because the whole point of Rey is that it doesn't matter where you come from. You can become the chosen one. You can be who you want to be, which again doesn't really make any sense because Rey's not just a nobody. She is literally descended from one of the most powerful bloodlines in the entire verse. And I understand this. I get on the original trilogy for that. What's the best way that I can put this? Luke Skywalker loses some of his appeal when you realize that it actually makes a lot of sense why he's as powerful as he is. And the one thing I liked about Rey until they ruined it is that Rey legitimately came from nowhere. And then you find out, no, she's descendant from Palpatine. And I'll be real here, her changing her name to Skywalker makes absolutely zero sense because now the story is no longer, oh, it doesn't matter where you come from, you can be who you want to be, to, I'm going to change my name because it's convenient. There is literally no reason to rename yourself Rey Skywalker. There just isn't. Like, no, Rey Palpatine would have actually been a better move because it would have shown that she is confident in who she really is, finding out the horrors of where she came from, and she is going to redefine what the Palpatine name means. Instead, nah, I'm a Skywalker now because that's more fashionable. But here's the problem. She is canonically, like, the most powerful Jedi to ever live, and that is really annoying because she's one of the most bland characters I've ever seen. But I'm gonna be real here, it's just mid. It really is just mid, and it hurts that I have to put it there when I've put every other character over here, but she really is just a mid character, dude. Snoke! Again from Star Wars, I'm just roasting the sequel trilogy. Bro, I'm sorry, introducing Snoke in The Force Awakens as a stand-in for Palpatine, only to get him got in the second movie, and then to find out that he is a clone of Palpatine and Palpatine is still alive, is literally some of the worst writing that I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The sequel trilogy, with some of the mistakes that they were making in writing a movie, legitimately got me to the point where I was like, I might be able to make a movie. And that's how crazy it was. It was like, I don't know if I could make something, like the amount of just, like, oh, yeah, Palpatine somehow returned. I still hear people try to defend that line. I still hear people being like, well, it's not that bad, bro. It's not that bad. And it's like, no, it is. No, it is. I'm sorry. You can't critique movies and tell me that that is not an absolute abysmal delivery and an abysmal line from a writing point of view because you couldn't come up with a villain that you literally had to be like, hey, okay, let's just put Palpatine in again. Bro, I'm sorry. Snoke, fraud. Straight fraud. Not even a remote question. What did he even do? What did he do? Nothing. Fraud. Ultron. Yeah, I'm going to bring this up again. I'm sorry, bro. People bring up, like, how amazing his dialogue is. Brother, no, I'm sorry. If you try to say Ultron's line, you're going to realize that he is 100% an AI that was trained on Discord and Reddit. There's no other question. The amount of stuff... No. His voice actor is just so good that you overlook just how corny some of the lines are. And there's another one. The MCU Ultron? Oh my gosh, dude. I'm sorry. Dude, he was hyped up as a literal Avengers-level threat, only for the moment that the Avengers locked in, they were just straight up no-diffed him. Just decimated him. And I think that's the problem that I have, because Ultron in, like, the comics, Ultron in TV shows, is, like, a legit threat that will 100% murk a few Avengers. And this was, I remember when this was happening, the MCU was getting hit with these allegations that they would never off any, like, main characters. So they introduced Quicksilver only to get rid of Quicksilver, so they could be like, see? Some people go! When in reality, brother, I remember the trailers, they sewed off a vision of, like, all of the Avengers, like, keeled over, and they're gone. And that was supposed to be the hype for this movie. Yeah, no, Ultron just came in there and did a whole bunch of nothing, dog. Infinity Ultron brought it back, but, bro, main MCU Ultron, he's a little bit of a fraud, I gotta put him there. Harry Potter. Let me tell you something about Harry Potter, dog. Harry Potter isn't even the chosen one in his own story. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the more I understand this, I'm pretty critical on Harry Potter as like a book, as a narrative, because a lot of it is 100% the world building of somebody from the UK. You know how I no longer took it that seriously? When I found out that the entirety of America has one wizarding school. I immediately knew, okay, this is a European. She has absolutely no understanding of how America operates, and it's absolutely hilarious. That was my realization that she does not know ball. But, like, Harry Potter is, like... This is where it bothers me. Harry Potter is a chosen one character, but is literally a Nepo baby. The childhood of Harry Potter literally is not that bad. Oh, well, my parents are gone. Get in line, little bro. Dog, I'm sorry, some people witnessed what happened to their parents. You were as a baby, and you were saved by plot armor. And my step-parents are real mean to me. David Goggins' parents were unironically meaner to him. Brother, I'm sorry, there are so many... I could go down a list of people... Joe Rogan had worse parents than... Joe Rogan had worse parents than Harry Potter did. I'm sorry, dog. Like, there comes a point where I'm like, it wasn't that bad. You got your own room. It wasn't that bad. You go to a wizarding world where you are literally the Nepo baby of the verse. You inherited a level of wealth that is absolutely insane to have. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, boo. You are a celebrity, a Nepo baby, a rich kid. I could not be at Hogwarts. I 100% would dislike Harry. Bro, we would be sitting at the wizarding game and I would be seeing something like, Dumbledore comes in. 1,000,000 points to Harry Potter's Gryffindor. Hey, Dumbledore! Fuck you. Honestly, bro, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I would absolutely hate going to Hogwarts, bro. There's a reason why Americans don't get invited to this thing. I'm sorry, dog. Oh, well, why is that? Friendly reminder, whenever an American goes over to Europe, they have to tell the Americans not to absolutely just beat the tar out of a pickpocket. Brother, I'm sorry, when like that ended the debate. If you took 100 Europeans versus 100 Americans, Americans are squad wiping and it's not even close. I'm sorry. If you have to tell us to calm down with your criminals, brother, stop it. If somebody tries, you want to know something, bro? This is how I knew and I have a lot of European fans, but I'm sorry, this is something that, like, America to Europe, y'all have to understand this. Pickpocket culture is not a thing over here. You just get jumped and robbed. I need you to understand that, bro. If somebody walks up to you and only takes your wallet, that is considered a good thing. If I'm in Europe and you try to pickpocket me and I see your hand, brother, my American instincts kicking in right now, bro. Like, oh my gosh. I wish somebody would try. I wish you would. Buddy, it's not going well for you, but I'm going to enjoy this, man. There's a reason why people in America do not do this, because they understand how scary it is and, like, life-threatening it is for the pickpocket. I'm sorry, bro. Harry Frauder. Oh, yeah, Neville is the chosen one, even in that verse. He's actually the one that was able to get rid of a Voldemort. Fraud. Yeah, put him in fraud. Joffery Baratheon. Here's the problem with Joffery Baratheon. At the end of the day, he is just a kid, and people, like, compare him to Nero, and I'm like, I might make a Nero video just off, like, how, brother, Nero was such an evil person that when Nero, when he was gone, people would pretend to be Nero, and people would treat it like the Antichrist was resurrected. I'm not kidding. Imagine being so evil that people were actively worried that you were going to come back to life. Nero is probably the most evil person that ever lived, if we're being honest here, because I ain't ever heard of a guy that is so evil that people were worried that he was going to come back to life, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Multiple people pretended to be Nero, and it's absolutely insane. So people compare him to Baratheon, it's a bit, to Joffrey, it's a bit much. At the end of the day, dog, he is a fraud. He would be talking up this big game, how he's going to go to war, win some battles, all for hiding with his mama in the tall towers. But his mom is also manipulative, and, you know, he's also a kid. I'm going to be real here. Yeah, he's kind of a fraud, but at the same time, dog, he is just a kid, but should never be around any type of power at all. The Immortal from Invincible. Bro, at this point, it's a meme, and this is what I like to think. I like to think that Immortal was absolutely clobbering people left and right, and it's because his strength is so much higher than his durability. That's what I think it is, because he is able to go toe-to-toe with, like, Omni-Man and, like, high people in the verse and legitimately be able to damage them. The problem is that he can't tank a strike that is anywhere near his level of strike. That is just what happens over and over again. Every single time the Immortal gets into a scrap, he's doing good all the way up until his opponent realizes that it's like, oh, you're fragile, bro. You're basically just a normal human being that has super strength. And that's essentially what Immortal is. But it is kind of funny how he progressively gets no-diffed easier and easier and easier to the point where it's like, bro, how? How did you ever reign? Like it's kind of like, bro, he was like the #1 ranked guy in, like, casual play, and then the moment they opened up competitive, he gets no-diffed by, like, year 1 Invincible. I'm putting him easily, bro, and just kind of a fraud, because there's one more I gotta put in fraud. Homelander from The Boys. Oh, 100%. Do you know what caused this? Because I remember seeing people do, like, who would win, Homelander or the Justice League. Brother, I'm sorry. Superman alone absolutely clobbers Homelander. And the truth is, dog, no, we can say that now. Because there used to be a thing that Homelander was so much more powerful than everybody else in the verse that it was tough to make comparisons with him to any other character, because he was already more powerful than his verse to an absurd degree. But when I watch him legitimately, like, struggle with, like, people that are nowhere near as powerful as him, I'm thinking it's like, brother, Batman is cooking you. Aquaman is cooking you. Like, and I think that's the problem, bro. The power scaling community overrated Homelander to an absurd degree that he's actually, like, very, very fraud. Like, he's a fraud. Another thing. Brother, Homelander is so bad at hand-to-hand combat because he relies on his laser eyes so heavily that the moment a character can tank his heat vision, he automatically starts folding and flies away. The one time he was losing a battle, he flew away like a little bitch. That is what he did. That is Homelander. He puts in fake muscles in his uniform because he is that much of a fraud. He can't even build muscle. What a goober. I'm sorry, bro. Homelander is a categorical fraud of a man. And there you go. That is me going throughout fiction and giving you the biggest frauds. Okay, a little bit of a shorter video. I just wanted to rant about this one really quick, give you guys a good old Friday video. I'm debating whether I'll do, like, a good 250K special for Saturday or Sunday. I'm debating on that because I still got 5 uploads a week that I got to get the week after that. I'm a busy man, but I'm thankful to be this busy because of you guys. If you guys want to support the channel, please consider a like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 300,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That is the goal. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is with the support of you guys. And with all that out of the way, I will see you all in the next video. Adios, guys.